Hey, this is Matt from InvestiQuant. Today is Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. And this morning we saw the markets gap up. They consolidated around the open for the first half hour or so and have since started taking off to the upside. We never ended up retracing to the prior day closing price. You can look at the S&P up here in the top left. You can see the prior day closing price is this dashed cyan line here. We opened up this morning. We never really even made a strong attempt towards it before kind of consolidating and breaking higher. We've got some trend-like activity taking place now this afternoon. Same type of action in the NASDAQ down below. You know, you gap up, you never make a good attempt at the gap before turning and starting to head higher. That's looking very similar here in the Dow, and the Russell's a little bit more of consolidation-like activity, but we've kind of seen some gap and goes happening in the majority of these instruments today. So what I want to do this afternoon is take a look at what that has looked like going into the close in this current environment where we've had some recent selling, but still in a bullish market. So let me set that up. We're going to go ES, NASDAQ, the Dow, and the Russell. We're going to use an intraday time-based entry, and we'll use the last 60 minutes of trading, so 3:15 p.m. Eastern as the entry. It'll be set up as a long exiting at the close of regular trading hours, which is 4:15 p.m. Eastern time. Next, I'm going to add an opening filter, and I'm just going to simply use gapping up. So this means it is opening above the prior day closing price. And then in the post-open filters section, I'm going to describe this gap and go like activity by the opening gap did not fill. So I'm going to hit equals to gap not filled. And then I'm simply going to use the open was in the bottom 25% of the intraday range, and the close as of this 3:15 price is in the top 25% of the intraday range. So that's giving you a directional candlestick. The gap did not fill. That completes the intraday price action I want to look at. But the more important thing is putting it in the market environment that we're in. So I'm using above a 200, but below a 10-day moving average. So seems like for the past couple months, we've been above the 10, above the 200. But after the past couple sessions of selling, we are below a 10, but still above a 200. So this is kind of a weak bullish environment is how you could describe that. So I'm going to use that as the environment and then hit view results. And here we go. So these are the results of going long at 3:15 p.m. Eastern time when you gap up and have a gap and go like day forming where you do not fill the gap and you open in the bottom 25% of the range. You're trading in the top 25% of the range as of 3:15 p.m. Eastern time. This is taking place when below a 10 but above a 200-day moving average. So historically, we've got 120 samples in the S&P, 112 in the NASDAQ, 101 in the Dow, 95 in the Russell. So good sample sizes across all of these. And looking at the win rates, this has historically not been very bullish. So none of these are even at 50%. They all have good sample sizes, and they are all leaning a little bit weaker. Looks like the Dow is the weakest at 38%, 39% if you want to round that up. The ES coming in, 42% of these closing above that 3:15 p.m. price. The NASDAQ, 46%, Dow 39%, and Russell 48%. So I was expecting this to be stronger than what it was, but historically it has not been very strong going into the close. And looking at the average win, average loss, they're all relatively close. We're not seeing a giant spread between either one of those. So average win a little bit bigger in the ES than the average loss, a little bit bigger in the NASDAQ than the average loss. Pretty similar in the Dow, and the average loss is a little bit bigger in the Russell, but no major outliers taking place there in those average win and average loss numbers. So historically, this has not been that bullish going into the close. Hopefully you found that helpful. Good luck the rest of the day, and we will see you next time.